Hello friends, my name is Michelle Fondin and I'm an author and speaker, and welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my new series on twin flames and the twin flame connection. So if you watched my last video, you know that I am doing this wonderful new series on twin flames for which I feel totally ill-equipped, but God is channeling me this energy and channeling me this information, and I'm going to do it because I was asked to do it. So when God asks you, you say yes and amen, and that is it. So my intention is to totally get my ego completely out of this, to let divine love and light come through in these videos to you, to give you the highest truth that God is trying to transmit through me in order to share this information with you. Now, as with any spiritual topic, know that it's very difficult to transmit it in physical terms. So that there are some bits and pieces of information that come through experience, that come through feeling, that come through intuition. And it's only through those things that you can fully understand and grasp them. I will try to make it as down to earth as possible throughout these videos. And I will try to bridge information from previous information that you have in your past to bring these esoteric concepts to light in the physical so that you can fully embrace them and grasp them and feel them within your body and know that they are true for you. What is a twin flame and what is a twin flame connection? So, to my understanding, through what I have not only read but felt, is a twin flame is a soul contract before you came to earth that you made the decision with God to divide your soul in two, and that you would go on this journey in order to reunite with your twin flame soul, so the other part of your soul. So think about it as yin or yang energy. So you would divide that soul into two. So one has the yin energy and one has the yang energy. And so you will hear the terms, and we're going to do in the next video vocabulary terms to help you learn about this twin flame journey. And just know that the words don't necessarily mean anything. It's just to, again, anchor you down to this earthly plane, because the twin flame journey is one that is really in the ethers initially. So it's a relationship, it's a union that starts in the ethers, that starts in divine consciousness, and then it is anchored down to earth. Versus earthly relationships that start on earth and then they move up and ascend into higher consciousness. So this is completely reversed, okay? You have the soul contract. Your soul is divided into two before you come down here. Now, the debate is, do you only find your twin flame in one lifetime? Do you reunite with them in several lifetimes? Do you have more than one twin flame? Is it possible to meet your twin flame and not be together in a physical relationship on earth? So let's explore all of these things. But first, let's go into this yin yang, divine masculine, divine feminine. So the idea is to, on earth, in order to complete your task or complete your soul contract that you made before you came here, is to find and reunite with your twin flame half, if you will, the other half of your soul, in order to reunite, come into union, in order to fulfill that soul contract. Now, what is the purpose of a twin flame union? So for most of us, the twin flame union is a romantic purpose, but that is not the ultimate purpose of the twin flame partnership or the twin flame union. So just know that twin flames are always in union. They're always united. They are always one. If you're a twin flame divine masculine or you're a twin flame divine feminine, that you are always united with your counterpart in spirit, because you have to be. You couldn't possibly be separated from the other half of your soul, the other half of your spirit. You must be in union with them. So even though it might not look that way in the physical plane, in the physical realm, just know that your divine twin is always with you no matter what. So that being said, we're going to talk about why it's necessary just to be careful about the energy that you're sending out to your twin flame and to yourself as well, because what you do to yourself also affects your twin flame because you guys are united as one. The question that I have asked and the question that others have asked is it possible to not be in physical union with your twin flame? And yeah, it is absolutely possible to not be in physical union with your twin flame. Your twin flame's purpose in your life is the evolution of your soul together, your collective soul together, and the evolution of consciousness of the whole planet. And so in my last video, when we talked about the shift of the spiritual paradigm going from fear-based spirituality into love-based spirituality, there was a purpose for that. And if you have not yet viewed that video, please go back and view that video so you can kind of understand the way spirituality and spiritual awakening is shifting in 2019 and forward. So it's not like this shift hasn't been taking place. It has. It's just that energetically more people are becoming awakened to this spiritual consciousness of unconditional love, or Christ-based consciousness. And I talk about Jesus and Jesus's life and his mission prior to explaining the twin flame journey, which is tied in directly to the shift in the paradigm from fear-based relationships, fear-based spirituality, into love-based, into unconditional love. So it is, yes, it's possible to have your twin flame on earth and not be in physical union with them. And in fact, that is what happens oftentimes throughout the journey to twin flame physical union. So again, remember, these are just words. These are words that are going to help you to understand the journey and the process of awakening and of understanding something that is so spiritually based that, again, it's sometimes difficult to fully grasp. Oftentimes, more often than not, twin flames do end up in union together if they can work through their own crap that they have accumulated from not only the past in this lifetime, but the past in other lifetimes. So the purpose of a twin flame relationship is to unfold the wounds and bring them up to surface, bring the wounds up to surface in ourselves, and in order to clear that out. And then the counterpart, your twin flame, divine masculine or divine feminine, depending on who you are, they too are bringing up all of the turmoil and self-doubt and wounds from their childhood and past lives to purge those out as well. And then once those are activated and brought out, then oftentimes once all the crap is gone, or most of it. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be stuff that you guys need to work out together in physical union, but a lot of times the work has to be done alone first, and the activation of the wounds toward healing often comes when you meet your twin flame. When you meet, and that's when the activation happens, and it's time to work out all of these wounds from childhood and past lives. Sometimes what happens, and we're going to speak about this in the vocabulary section of the Twin Flame playlist, and sometimes what happens is there's a relationship that you happen to have, which is a catalyst to help you advance on your spiritual journey, and you will begin to heal those wounds before you come to meet your twin flame person. So that's really what happens there. The ultimate goal of the twin flame union in the physical world is not necessarily just to be in romantic partnership. So it's a much greater life purpose than that. And in fact, I will speak a little bit, I'm going to speak very, very, very little about my twin flame journey because I am protecting the person in that we are not yet in physical union. We will be in physical union. We are in spiritual union, of course, because you could not possibly be separated from your twin flame. There's no possibility of that. You cannot be separated in what they call the 5D or in the spiritual world. You cannot, your spirits are united. They are not in separation ever, but on this earthly plane, it's easy to believe that you guys are in physical separation, so you are separate. You're never separate. And so since my twin flame, and that's one of the reasons in the last video I spoke about not feeling the worthiness to be able to speak to you about this, and being very humbled that my angels and guides and God said that, no, you're ready, you need to start speaking about this. And there are other YouTubers who are really good at explaining the twin flame journey, and I would definitely say to check them out and see what resonates with you. If what I'm saying doesn't resonate with you, then check out other YouTubers who are speaking about the same topic, because everyone's personality is different and you're going to receive information differently. And if the information that you're receiving from my words don't resonate with you, then somebody else's words may resonate with you. And I would say it's always good to view more than one speaker and see what works for you, and you might get it from a different angle. And I say that everyone who is speaking about twin flames in 2019 and this huge awakening that's actually happening in the twin flame community, I don't even like to say community, but in the twin flame souls that have sped up the process of awakening in 2019 to help heal the world. And that's getting me to our purpose. And it's good because a lot of us are speaking about the journey, and as we're speaking about the journey, we're helping others who don't quite understand it, because it can be really scary to go through this process and not completely understand what's happening, because a lot of it is happening from a spiritual level, and if you have no idea why this is happening, it can make you feel like you're going crazy. And that is certainly something that has happened to me, even being a meditation teacher, even being a spiritual leader, even being in this space of understanding and knowing God's divine messages. It can still make you feel like you're going crazy. And you're not going crazy if you're experiencing a twin flame connection, and that's really truly what it is. You're totally not going crazy. So I'm just saying that to you right now. So the ultimate purpose is to help raise the consciousness of the earth through unconditional love. That is the main purpose of the divine twin flame connection. And so, yes, romance is a part of it. Yes, being a couple is part of it. Getting married, perhaps, if that's your choosing, is a part of it. Having children together, creating a family, having a stable home life is a part of it. So I'm not going to tell you that it's not a part of the journey. It's just that that is not the ultimate purpose of the divine twin flame connection. That's not the ultimate purpose. So it's interesting, and we'll talk about this more in detail, but in the last video, I talked about Christ consciousness, and I talked about how Jesus came to earth to take on our burdens, to take on our sins, and to take all of our wounds, if you will, onto himself as an act of unconditional love. And another thing that Jesus did was he loved everybody unconditionally and continues to love everybody unconditionally. And as a testimony to his faithfulness to God and as a testimony to Jesus' unconditional love, he loved the people that were the most unlovable. And if you don't remember, or you haven't had a good anchoring in Bible study, I would say it might be worth it to you, even if you're not Christian, just to see the example of Jesus' unconditional love, is to read the Gospels, and in particular the Gospel of Matthew and the Gospel of John, which succinctly make it easy to see that Jesus' display of love and affection for everyone, but especially those who were unworthy, especially those who were rejected by society and who were made out to be the worst people ever. Those are the ones who Jesus has showed the most compassion, empathy, and love toward. And why is this important in the twin flame journey? It's because your twin flame may, at surface level, when you meet them, you may fall in love instantly because you have that connection, but you may feel like they don't deserve your love, and inversely, you might not feel that you deserve his or her love. And so the elevation to Christ consciousness is through this connection, because there is such intense love feelings that there's this question of the ego saying, well, this person really doesn't deserve my love, or they're treating me this way, or they're running from me, or we had such an amazing connection and now they're running away and I don't understand it. And now I feel completely awful. Or if you're, typically it's the divine masculine, which I'll again explain in the vocabulary video. If it's the divine masculine who's doing the running, the divine masculine will feel like, well, I'm with this person and on one end it feels wonderful, and on the flip side it feels completely awful. And it feels completely awful because the divine feminine in this case would be the mirror to the divine masculine's wounds and the awakening of those childhood wounds and also the wounds from the past lives. And so the activation of that feels terrible. Because while you're receiving this unconditional love, at the same time, you're receiving this unconditional hurt. And that hurt is just like, it's an unrelenting hurt where you feel all of the wounds from your past coming up to the surface. And so it can be a really confusing time for both parties. But the elevation to Christ consciousness is unequivocal to anything that you've ever experienced in life. And maybe the closest thing would be loving a child unconditionally. When you have a child and you see that child growing up and they reject you, or at times they might even say, I hate you, mom, I hate you, dad, and you still love them inside because you know that they're just going through a process of growing up, and processes of growing up are sometimes difficult. So, but this person is a person who's typically not related to you, the twin flame. And so you don't have that same sense of unconditional love that you might have for a child that is your biological child, for example. And so the twin flame journey is about yourself, first and foremost. It's about discovering who you are. And it's about discovering your journey to unconditional love. Your journey to unconditional love. And in that journey to unconditional love, and once you're able to master unconditional love and find it within yourself first and find your connection to God and the unconditional love that God has for you, in that you are a part of God, you are a piece of God, so of course you are unconditional love. And when you find that, you will find that the twin flame physical union will come a lot easier. Now, time is something that many twin flame counterparts, I wouldn't say twin flame couples, twin flame counterparts are worried about the timing of it. And things must happen in divine timing that it's hard to be patient. It's hard to understand why this is happening at a certain pace. And believe me, I know. I'm in physical separation with my twin flame, and so I understand that. I get it. I get that. It's so hard when you have so many feelings for this person and so much affection for this person and such intense feelings for this person, and you're not physically together, and it can be maddening sometimes because you're like, why aren't we together? This is crazy. I know we're supposed to be together. I know this is supposed to happen. I feel this is supposed to happen. I'm getting messages that it's supposed to happen, and it's not happening yet. And it's just because these things take time. The clearing of that person's wounds and the clearing of your wounds may just need to cycle through. And it's really a testimony. This whole process is not only a testimony to unconditional love, but it's also a testimony to faith, trust, and patience. And I think to put it the most succinctly is to read part of the passage of the Bible passage that is the most quoted passage in weddings. And that is 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And it's love is the greatest. I'm going to start with verse 4, which is love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable and it keeps no records of being wronged. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith. It is always hopeful and endures through every circumstance. And I think that is especially important in this twin flame connection, in any love relationship, of course. But in this twin flame relationship, it's especially important to remember those aspects of unconditional love, those aspects of love is patient, love is kind, love is not jealous, not boastful or proud. Love does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices when the truth wins. And it is always faithful and always hopeful. And so that is really, 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 really what the twin flame journey is about. It's about embracing, knowing, feeling, understanding infinite, unconditional love. And it's about transcending the ego. And if you haven't seen my video on transcending the ego, which was done a few weeks ago, go ahead and view the video about transcending the ego. So that is the twin flame journey in a nutshell. Of course, there are many aspects to the twin flame journey that will be explained in videos that are to come. And I hope that this helped to clarify for you what is a twin flame and why is it here and why is it happening and what is the purpose of a twin flame union. So that is the ultimate purpose. The ultimate purpose of the twin flame union is unconditional love and to elevate the consciousness of the earth with that unconditional love that you have for that other person. It's raising the elevation of the world in consciousness to Christ consciousness to do the same thing that Jesus did. Jesus took upon all of our wounds, all of our sins, all of our shortcomings, and he took them upon the cross for himself with love. He didn't do it as a martyr. He did it with love. He willingly did it with love. He willingly said, yes, 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 give it to me. I will take it. I will suffer through this and for this, for the greater good. And that is what you signed up for, guys. That is what you signed up for before you came here. And if you're like, I didn't sign up for this, you sure did. You absolutely, positively signed up for this. And you're equipped to deal with it. And so that's the other gift of being in a twin flame relationship, a twin flame union, a twin flame connection, and a twin flame journey is that you are so equipped to deal with this. And guess what? You and your twin flame made a soul contract, an agreement on exactly how you were going to work through this together before you even came here. So y'all have the solutions to how to get to union in the physical. You already have the solutions. They're hardwired in your system. They're hardwired in you, so you already know. You just have to stay in unconditional love and get out of your own way in order to make this union happen. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel below. Share this video with friends, family, and your yoga dog. And thank you for pledging your support on Patreon to keep these videos coming. And if you loved my channel, if you love these videos, a small pledge of support is well appreciated. www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin. And I will see you in the next video.